Hey guys, Boris Slots from BK Forex. Welcome to our Forex Daily Technicals for 5/13/13, JPY Profit Taking. As always, trading foreign exchange and margin carries a high level risk management schools for all investors, so I ask you to read this disclaimer very carefully and look at all the risks associated with trading foreign exchange and margin and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. So trades today kind of very quiet as we're having a little bit of a consolidation Monday. But Dollar Yen definitely hitting a little bit of a resistance up above the 102 level. You can see this much better on let's say a 30-minute chart here today. As we kind of spiked out over the 102, you can see this here. Opened up. We actually had a gap open this Sunday open, and then a little bit of a gap open, and then spiked out, took out new highs, and then came right back down as profit taking definitely came in. Remember we talked about the idea that the 100, 101.50, 102 comes in as pretty stiff support from almost 4 years ago. It looks like that's kind of bearing itself out, but so far 101.50 holds. If we get more pressure into the North American session, 101.50 gets given, it's very likely we're going to test the 101 as we have a little bit of a distribution after taking such a big rally over the last few days. So yen still looks very healthy, but definitely in a little bit of a consolidation mode. However, break of the overnight session highs at 102.14, if we go to 102.25, would really signify a much more powerful drive and a potential move right all the way through 103s before we kind of come in for a little bit of a pause. Euro just doing nothing very much overnight. It's holding steady at around right above the 29.50 level, which has been the key support level. We broke through that on Friday a little bit, but as I noted in my weekly, we didn't hold below it, and that actually is a mildly bullish development for euro. Although we are kind of testing 29.50 early in the European session just to see whether this level holds. If it does hold, this is kind of an interesting thing. If it does hold, if we have a sort of a double bottom here and euro begins to rally back out through 130, that actually would be a relatively bullish development. Or a take out of the 130 would suggest we'll have further more to the upside to go. If we start to break down, 129.25 is the key for further downside actions. So that would really put us into much more of a negative construct, and would suggest that the euro may want to go into the 28s and test the support at 28.50 before we find any kind of pause in that downside move. Aussie continues to be dripping weaker. We had weak Chinese data overnight, but the only piece of news that we had overnight, and the rally to parity kind of fizzled out. Although we still continue to hold above the Friday's lows, the 99.60 are the key lows here, and again, sort of mildly forming a double bottom, a little bit of a higher bottom. So we have to see how well that develops over the next several hours. But if we can sort of hold above 99.70, a re-rally back up to parity could be in play. Although Aussie continues to be just simply very much on the back foot. I mean, these rallies are just anemic, and furthermore, if you look at them even on a more closer basis, you see that every counter trend rally can't even get the even match the prior highs. So still a very negative construct in Aussie. And lastly, cable not doing anything. It's just marking time here at 55, 53.50, consolidating out. Friday's dip all the way down to almost 5300s. Actually looking a little bit better because we're well above Friday's low. So we'll have to see how cable trades out. Cable is sort of very notorious for doing nothing, and then the North American session coming in and testing the prior day's lows. So worth keeping an eye on that. If we come in anywhere around the 55.13, break of the 5300s, excuse me, 53.13, 5300s could very much be in the offing. Just a stop running exercise in North American session. Very quiet day otherwise, waiting for the European finance ministers meeting. Not much of a data set today except for the Chinese data set, and the overnight or the weekend news that maybe the Fed is starting to take its foot off the pedal on QE. Definitely having a little bit of a pro-dollar bias as we start out the week, but not much fun. So we'll have to see where we stand as everything is near its major levels of support, and it's going to take probably a lot more action to try to push us lower as far as we go. So that's how the trade is setting up for Monday. Wishing you guys the best of luck and the best of trading. This is Boris Schlossberg.